Welcome to the latest edition of the Bothell Buzz. Today our topic is Get to Know the New City Manager, Jennifer Phillips. Welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you so much, Barbara.
Thanks for talking with us today. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience in municipal government?
Absolutely. I've been in local government almost 30 years, and I've loved every minute of it. I'm so fortunate to have found a career that I can be really passionate about, and I really enjoy being in local government. I've had the opportunity to work for a sanitation district where I worked in recycling. I worked for a transportation agency. I was the director of one of the largest animal shelters in the United States, which was a really great job, but a hard job. And then I've also worked in several cities in California, and so now I'm here in Bothell as your new city manager.
Great, and we're glad to have you here. As a follow-up, can you tell us how you gravitated towards city management?
Absolutely. When I was working in local government, I was sort of looking for where the right niche would be. And as I mentioned, I'd worked in recycling and I'd worked in transportation. And then all of a sudden I had the opportunity to go to the city of Fullerton. And as soon as I got there, I knew that city management was the career track for me. And ever since then, I've been working my way towards becoming a city manager. And I did that in California. And again, now I have the privilege of being a city manager here in Bothell.
Great. So I've heard you talk to staff at staff meetings about your core values, and I'm thinking that our viewers would probably be interested in hearing what those are.
Oh, I'd love to share those. As a leader, I think that it's really important that you share with your staff what your expectations are. Because as staff is making decisions in their daily work, it helps to know, is my manager going to support me in this decision? Is my manager open to change? Is she open to innovation? Or is she, less open? And so what I did is over the years, I've developed values that really are authentic to me and who I am as a leader. And those are exceptional customer service, teamwork, innovation, safety, and ethics in the workplace. And I'm hopeful by sharing those, as I have with the staff over my first few weeks here, it tells them who I am as a leader, and that when they go above and beyond and help one of our citizens, one of our community members, one of our businesses, that's really what I want them to do. And then I want them to take reasonable risks, and I want them to be creative and innovative and move Bothell forward and do some really exciting things for our community. So I'm hopeful that those values have helped the staff understand who I am and the great things that we're going to do together here in Bothell.
Great, thanks. Is there something in your career so far that stands out that you'd like to share?
I've had some really great experiences and opportunities. I've done things like I was the founding board member of an organization in California called Women Leading Government, and it's actually now becoming a nationwide organization. States across the United States are emulating what we did in California, really helping women be successful in this profession. Today, we're still only 11% of city managers in the United States are women. And so we want to support women in the profession and people up and coming in the profession. So I've had some really great opportunities to do that and teach. But I think one that really stands out for me is I got the chance last year to attend a course at the Kennedy School at Harvard. And that was one of the most impactful courses I've ever attended. There were 70 participants from 22 countries, and the course title was called Leadership for the 21st Century, Courage, Chaos, and Conflict. And it's actually one of the things that brought me to Bothell, because after I went through that class, I realized that I wanted to do more, and I wanted to make a bigger difference, and I wanted to be in a community where I really felt like I could lead and really be part of something important. And so for me, as I look back, that was one of the most amazing weeks of my entire life.
Wow,
yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
It was really great.
Neat. So I understand that you've followed what's been happening in Bothell for some time now. What is it about Bothell that interests you?
I think it's really what Bothell's trying to do, I think, is one of the challenges that a lot of cities are facing in Washington and Oregon and California and across the United States. How do we maintain our viability and our sustainability, still have this strong sense of community, but be able to develop and meet the needs, the economic needs, the transportation needs of the 21st century? And I think Bothell has done a fantastic job of approaching those issues and recognizing that well-planned, reasonable growth has to happen to be a sustainable, viable community. But the commitment to things like revitalizing the Main Street and keeping that Main Street and making sure that that's there for the community and for visitors, I love that balance. And also coupled into that was the commitment to open space and parks. And so when I looked at Bothell and I saw this really balanced approach to have housing, look at affordable housing, transportation, open space, economic development, tourism, it really had this full package. And so to me, it looked like a great opportunity to come in and hopefully, for the years ahead, help Bothell continue to make challenging decisions. These are not easy decisions for the community to make. How do we stay viable, but how do we stay true to who we are? How do we respect the community and our heritage? How do we preserve the open space and yet still be a viable community? And so those were the kinds of things that drew me here. I also heard really good things about Bothell. And so you have a great reputation. I'm really proud to be here. The staff is amazing. And I've had just a great first couple of weeks. So it was everything I wanted it to be and more.
That's great. So this is kind of a transition to a little bit of a different topic, but I've heard you already talk about the importance of community engagement, and I'm wondering if you can share with us what does community engagement mean to you?
It's really important that the community is involved in the work that we do. And it's really interesting to have watched local government progress. I mean, from 50 years ago, when, quite frankly, local government really didn't interact with its community. And across the United States, you saw things come about like the Sunshine Law, the Open Meeting Law, the Brown Act. These were the initiatives that were passed to say, no, government, we want to be part of your decision making. We want to be part of what you do. And over the decades, local governments have evolved in how we communicate and involve our citizenry in our decision making. There's still a lot of improvement and work that can be done there. And so, we certainly understand everybody's busy. We've got families, we've got jobs, we've got, soccer games and events and birthday parties. And so how do you fit the business of local government into the busy lives of our community? And so what we want to do is continue to provide different types of communication that is of interest to our citizens. And whether that's a hard printed newsletter, it's an email newsletter, it's something like this, the Bothell Buzz, whether it's us going out and meeting with our community members in small talking forums, going to rotaries, going to businesses. It's really about finding various ways to engage our community that works for them, not that works for us. And that's really the key. We want people to be involved, but coming down here to City Hall and sitting in a council meeting is interesting for some people, but not for very many. And so how do we spur that communication? And so community engagement will be something you and I will be working together very closely in the years ahead to offer those opportunities. If the community doesn't want to take us up on it, that's certainly fine. But there's lots of ways, and even community activity and community events are ways to engage our community. And it really gives people a sense of community. And when you talk to people, that's really what people want. They want to feel like they're part of their community, part of their organization, part of the decision making, but also feel good about where they live. And we play a role in that. And so you and I will work together, and we are super open to ideas. We look forward to meeting more and more residents. And so I think you and I both, if we're invited to anything, we'll come. And so we're looking forward to those opportunities.
Great, so am I. Thanks. So here's another tangent question. So relocating from another state, I haven't done that myself, but I can only imagine that takes a lot of work. You're selling your house, you're settling into an apartment, going to be looking for a new place to live. Why here, and why is now the right time for you to do that?
So you're right, it is, and I haven't never done it either, and it was one of the exciting things that my husband and I decided, life is short, and you want to live and you want to experience things. And my husband went to college here in Washington State, and it's something I've always dreamed of. I enjoy Europe very much. I enjoy the nature and the hiking and the mountains and the snow. And so we really wanted to be somewhere where we could enjoy those things. And we've certainly enjoyed our time in Napa Valley, and I've lived most of my life in Southern California. And so when we saw the opportunity in Bothell, we thought, now is a really good time for us. We're ready to do something like this, and we're very excited. So, yep, we have some work ahead and some packing to do, but we're hoping by summer that we'll be here and settled in and a part of our community.
Great. So being a city manager takes an awful lot of time.
It does.
But you'll still be able to enjoy the hiking and that sort of thing. Can you share with our audience a little bit more about what you like to do when you're not working?
Absolutely. I spend a lot of time outdoors. That's one of our favorite things is, hiking, walking, biking, really being out in nature. And so that's one of the most important things, I think, also for my mental well-being. When you work hard, you got to find that work-life balance. And so for us, that's been a really important part. We also love to travel, love to go to Switzerland, Germany, and Austria. I was born in America, but I was raised bilingual. And so I love to be able to go back and speak German and see my relatives. And we have friends who live in Berlin, are very good friends. And so we meet up with them in the Swiss Alps. And so those are some of our most favorite things to do.
Oh, how neat. So would you mind sharing a little bit about your family, including the four-legged one?
Absolutely. Most of my family's still in Southern California. Actually, my parents and my sister, my two nephews, are the only family that I have in America. The rest of my family is still in Germany. My parents were the only ones to immigrate to America after the war. And so one of the reasons I speak German so that I can have relations with the rest of my family. And I'm married to my husband, Wes. We've been married for almost 25 years. So next year we'll celebrate 25 years. It's hard to believe how fast the time has gone.
Congratulations.
Thank you. My husband would say 25 long years, and I would say 25 great years. And our passion is our dogs. We've had dogs over the years, and we have one now, Mammut, and he's a Greater Swiss Mountain Dog. Weighs 135 pounds and is all love and sweetness. And fortunately, I was able to find an apartment here that's super dog friendly. And so as my husband's gone back to get the house ready for market, Mammut's here with me. And so you'll often see me walking in the mornings and at lunch and in the evenings in the downtown and through the neighborhoods to make sure that we both get enough exercise to be happy and healthy.
Oh, that's great. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with our community?
I'm just so happy to be here. I feel so welcomed. Everyone's been so great. The food has been delicious. I feel safe. I feel happy. I feel very content. And the staff has been terrific. The council's been great. And so everyone I've met so far has just been delightful. And I'm just so thankful to be here and really appreciate the warm welcome. And I look forward to years of being together and doing great work for the citizens of Bothell.
Well, great. We're glad to have you too.
Thank you.
And again, thank you for taking time with us today. Thanks for joining us for this latest edition of the Bothell Buzz, and we'll see you next time.